Imagine this: you're sitting in front of your computer, staring at a long list of tasks blinking at you. Each task is essential, each task affects your future success and the quality of your life. You know, deep down, that completing these tasks is crucial, yet you can't take the first step. Your fingers hover over the keyboard, your eyes constantly drifting away, searching for something else to fill the emptiness inside. You tell yourself, "I'll do it later." Then, another hour, even two, passes. You finally start, but deep down, you know you've missed the optimal time, feeling guilty and frustrated. What exactly are you avoiding? This isn't the first time, is it? Perhaps it's become a pattern. Every time you set goals, every time you make a commitment, but every time you fail. You might have thought it's just a simple habit issue, maybe laziness or lack of self-discipline. You may ask yourself, am I just not strong enough, or do I simply lack motivation? But is that really the root of the problem? Have you ever considered that what you're avoiding might be more than just the task at hand, the pressure of work, or perhaps something deeper within you, fears, anxieties, or a resistance to change? Why is it that despite knowing you should, you still can't bring yourself to act? You can't help but ask, what exactly are you avoiding? This question is not just about procrastination or self-discipline. It cuts deep into the very core of your psychology. Perhaps you've always thought you're just procrastinating, or maybe you've made excuses like, "I'm waiting for the right inspiration, the perfect timing." But do you truly understand what you're avoiding? Avoidance, a seemingly simple issue, is actually about a deeper internal conflict. You tell yourself you'll start today, that today will be different. But each time you procrastinate, you're avoiding something, a fear you haven't confronted, an inner resistance you refuse to acknowledge. The ultimate question lies here: what are you truly avoiding? Once you face this question, everything else will begin to make sense. Because once you stop running from what's inside you, you'll start to understand the real reason behind your procrastination and self-sabotage. You're beginning to realize that avoidance is not just a surface-level habit problem. It's not merely about laziness or lack of self-discipline. Every time you procrastinate, it's not just the task you're avoiding, it's a fear, or resistance to something deeper inside of you. You thought it was just procrastination, or maybe you've made excuses like, "I'm waiting for the right inspiration, the perfect timing." But have you ever thought about what you are really avoiding? True avoidance is often rooted in a deeper conflict within yourself. You tell yourself that today you will start, that this time will be different, but every time you procrastinate, you are avoiding something, a fear you haven't faced, a part of you that refuses to be acknowledged. At the heart of this avoidance is the fear of failure. But failure, in its most subtle form, isn't just about not completing a task. It's about the identity you create through those tasks. When you avoid doing something, you avoid confronting who you are, or more accurately, who you think you are. The task represents a challenge, a confrontation with an aspect of yourself that you would rather not face. Perhaps you fear that by completing the task, you will have to confront your deeper insecurities, doubts, or beliefs about your own inadequacy. This is where Carl Jung's concept of the shadow becomes crucial. The shadow represents parts of ourselves that we suppress, deny, or refuse to accept. These are the parts we deem undesirable, unworthy, or unfit for attention. But what if these suppressed aspects are the very things you need to face in order to grow? What if by avoiding that task, you're actually avoiding a confrontation with your own shadow? But avoidance isn't just about fear of failure, it's often intertwined with the fear of success. Yes, you read that right. You may fear success just as much as you fear failure. Success brings responsibility, it brings expectations, and it demands more of you. It's easier to avoid doing something than to succeed and then have to deal with the pressure that comes with it. Success means stepping into a larger version of yourself, one that may feel foreign or uncomfortable. In a world that often values perfection, achievement, and outward success, the thought of failing can be terrifying. But paradoxically, so is the thought of succeeding. Success doesn't just bring applause, it brings scrutiny, increased responsibilities, and the expectation to continue achieving. It demands consistency, visibility, and vulnerability. We avoid these things because they bring anxiety, discomfort, and fear of judgment. Then there's another layer to this avoidance, the fear of confronting change. Every task, every step towards success, every achievement requires change. It requires you to step out of your comfort zone and challenge the status quo you've carefully built for yourself. Change can feel like loss, and often, we cling to the old ways because they give us comfort and familiarity, even if they hold us back. What are you willing to lose in the process of becoming who you are truly meant to be? This psychological avoidance is also deeply tied to societal pressures and cultural expectations. We live in a world that constantly tells us we need to be productive, successful, and flawless. The idea of success in modern society is deeply tied to material achievement, status, and the approval of others. This has led many to internalize these external expectations, creating a distorted view of success, one fraught with anxiety, insecurity, and fear of failure. As a result, you avoid taking steps necessary for your personal growth because you've internalized the belief that you're not enough, or that success will require a version of yourself you're afraid to confront. So, the question becomes even more pressing: what exactly are you avoiding? Are you avoiding the task, or are you avoiding the emotional, psychological, and existential shifts that come with completing it? What lies beneath your procrastination is the fear of change, the fear of vulnerability, and the fear of becoming someone you may not be ready to face. The deeper you go, the more you realize that procrastination isn't just a bad habit. It's a form of self-protection, a mechanism designed to keep you from facing uncomfortable truths about yourself. But in avoiding these truths, you trap yourself in a cycle of stagnation, where nothing changes and the things you fear the most continue to haunt you. Can you see it now? The real challenge isn't in completing the task. The real challenge is facing the discomfort that comes with growth, with change, and with confronting the parts of yourself you've long avoided. To break free from the cycle of avoidance, you must first confront the fears and beliefs that hold you captive. Only by doing so can you take that first step toward the life you truly desire. By now, you've started to grasp that avoidance is not just a temporary habit or a momentary lack of motivation. It is a deeply ingrained pattern, one that goes beyond mere procrastination. Every time you avoid something, you're not just delaying a task, you're shaping your future in subtle and invisible ways. But how many of these consequences do you actually realize? You may think that skipping a difficult conversation or postponing a task isn't a big deal. What harm is there in waiting until tomorrow? But this is where the danger lies. Avoidance isn't immediate in its impact. It doesn't reveal itself right away. Instead, it's gradual, almost imperceptible. Over time, the consequences of avoidance seep into your life like water eroding rock, and before you know it, you find yourself in a place of stagnation, wondering how you ended up there. One of the first invisible consequences of avoidance is the erosion of self-trust. Every time you promise yourself you'll do something and don't follow through, a tiny part of the trust you have in yourself breaks. At first, it might seem insignificant, but over time, these small breaches accumulate. You start to doubt your ability to follow through, and this lack of trust colors everything in your life. The more you avoid, the less confident you become in your ability to take action, and this cycle continues, influencing every decision you make. The impact on relationships is just as profound. Avoiding tough conversations, whether with a partner, a friend, or even yourself, creates distance. Avoidance builds a wall between you and others, a barrier that stops authentic connection. You might think you're protecting yourself from conflict, but in reality, you're distancing yourself from the people who could help you grow. This emotional isolation prevents intimacy, mutual understanding, and over time, erodes your ability to connect deeply with those around you. Beyond relationships, avoidance also impacts your sense of fulfillment. When you avoid the tasks that require attention, you deny yourself the satisfaction that comes from overcoming challenges. Success, growth, and meaning in life don't come from avoiding discomfort, they come from embracing it. But with each task you put off, you rob yourself of the opportunities to experience the profound sense of accomplishment that comes with pushing through difficulty. You're not just avoiding tasks, you're avoiding the reward of overcoming them. There's also a cognitive cost. Every time you procrastinate, your mind continues to hold on to that task, that worry, that decision. It doesn't just vanish. It lingers, creating mental clutter. This clutter contributes to stress, anxiety, and a constant sense of unfinished business. Instead of freeing your mind, avoidance creates a mental strain that distracts you from the things that truly matter. Your thoughts become preoccupied with the tasks you've been avoiding, increasing stress and confusion, and leaving you unable to focus on what truly needs your attention. And the worst part? Avoidance diminishes your sense of control. The more you avoid, the less control you have over your life. You begin to let the things you avoid control you instead. Your ability to act, make decisions, and shape your future is slowly taken away from you. Avoidance defines your story, and the longer you allow it to dictate your actions, the more you lose your power over your own existence. In the end, avoiding your fears doesn't eliminate them. It simply strengthens them, turning them into invisible chains that keep you locked in place. It's only by confronting your avoidance that you can begin to break free from this cycle and reclaim control over your life. So, ask yourself, what are you really avoiding? The answer to that question might be the key to unlocking the life you've always wanted. Now that we've uncovered the hidden layers of avoidance, it's time to ask, how do you break free from this cage you've unknowingly built around yourself? The first step in breaking free is realizing that avoidance is not the enemy, it's a signal. A signal that something within you is not being addressed. It's calling you to pay attention to the deeper issues you've been avoiding, to confront what's uncomfortable, and to step into the very discomfort that you've been running from. You see, in a world that prizes comfort, ease, and instant gratification, this idea might seem counterintuitive. But it's true, avoidance thrives on comfort. The more you seek to avoid discomfort, the more you trap yourself in stagnation. What if the key to breaking free lies in embracing discomfort? The discomfort that comes with growth, the discomfort that comes with change, and yes, the discomfort that comes with confronting those aspects of yourself that you've long neglected. This discomfort is not your enemy, it's your doorway to freedom. Think about it. Every significant transformation in your life, every time you've evolved, every time you've grown, came with discomfort. It was the discomfort of trying something new, the discomfort of stepping outside of your comfort zone, the discomfort of facing a fear, or the discomfort of confronting the truth about yourself. Growth doesn't come from avoiding discomfort, it comes from embracing it. But how do you begin to embrace discomfort? How do you confront what you've been avoiding for so long? The first step is small. You don't need to take on the most difficult, life-altering task right away. Start with something manageable. Pick that one task, the one you've been avoiding but know will make a difference. Break it down into smaller, less intimidating parts. Once you begin, watch for the resistance. Your mind will attempt to justify why you should put it off. Thoughts like, "It's not the right time, I'll do it later," or "It's not that important," will start to arise. This is where you challenge yourself. Instead of letting these thoughts guide your actions, stop and ask yourself, what is the real reason you're avoiding this? What fear is behind this resistance? Is it fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of change? The more you confront these underlying fears, the more you start to understand the roots of your avoidance. And when you recognize these fears, you take away their power over you. The second key step in breaking free is reframing your relationship with failure. You've probably avoided certain tasks because you're afraid of failing, afraid of making mistakes. But what if failure wasn't something to avoid but something to embrace? Failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of the process. It's a stepping stone on the path to growth. Each failure brings you closer to success, each mistake teaches you something new. When you stop fearing failure, it no longer holds power over you. Instead, failure becomes a tool for growth and self-improvement. Now, let's reframe discomfort as well. Yes, it may feel uncomfortable to face the task you've been avoiding. But remember, this discomfort is temporary. The long-term discomfort, the one that lasts and shapes your life, is the discomfort of remaining stuck, of avoiding the things that challenge you, of staying in a state of stagnation. The discomfort you feel now is nothing compared to the long-term suffering that comes from continuing to avoid what needs to be confronted. Each time you avoid, the discomfort grows, each time you face it, you grow stronger. In breaking free from avoidance, you are not only taking action, you're reclaiming your power. You are deciding not to let avoidance, fear, or discomfort control you anymore. You are no longer a passive observer of your own life, letting things happen to you. You are an active creator of your future, taking charge of your choices and your actions. But this is not a one-time act. Breaking free from avoidance is a process. It's not enough to confront avoidance once and expect everything to change. You must make it a habit to continuously face discomfort and resistance when it arises. Every time you confront a fear or tackle a task you've been avoiding, you strengthen your ability to handle discomfort. You build resilience, and over time, you develop a deep sense of self-trust. You learn that you can handle whatever comes your way. And as you break free from avoidance, you begin to live with a greater sense of purpose. Every task you complete, every challenge you overcome, becomes a reflection of your inner strength. You stop being a passive victim of circumstances, and you become the active creator of your reality. When you embrace discomfort and consistently confront avoidance, you move closer to the life you desire, a life filled with meaning, fulfillment, and true personal empowerment. The truth is simple, you're not avoiding tasks, you're avoiding yourself. The real transformation happens when you stop running from discomfort and begin embracing it. The fears, the resistance, the anxiety, these aren't barriers to growth, they're tools that, when faced, lead you to liberation. When you confront the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding, you unlock the path to freedom. Discipline isn't about control, it's about alignment with your true self. It's about regaining the power to shape your life, step by step. Avoidance traps you in a life that isn't truly yours. But by confronting it, you open the door to the life you've always wanted. The discomfort you feel now is nothing compared to the deep regret of never having tried. Embrace discomfort, break free, and transform your life into the one you've always dreamed of.